Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very happy to speak with you and talk a little bit more about the registry. The thank you page explains the next step of participation, which is research registration. This is optional. We encourage everybody to participate if they're eligible to do so, but it means to create a login account with password and to also sign an informed consent. The key eligibility criteria, which are shown in the lower portion of that page, include being a person diagnosed, a biological family member, or a spouse, caregiver, friend of a person diagnosed with FTD, being 18 years of age, as well as a resident of the U.S. or Canada. Now I'm going to click on the page and enlarge the center section, which gives some additional information about participating in research. So persons diagnosed with FTD, as we talked about earlier, can join independently or with the help of a care partner to co-manage their account. If they choose to participate in research, they need to be able to answer questions independently or with assistance. If they're unable to do so, then for research participation purposes, we suggest that a caregiver, family member, or friend join for research participation so that they can actually represent the voice of the FTD diagnosed person. However, that FTD diagnosed person can still join the contact registry even if they can't participate in research and fill out the subsequent surveys. I also want to point out that current or former caregivers, family members, and friends can join the registry, even if their FTD diagnosed loved one is not a registry participant or has already passed away. Your voice is very important to us, and we encourage you to enroll. If you do elect, click the yellow button at the bottom of that page that says I'm eligible and I want to participate. You'll be taken to step 1 of registering for research participation. And this step is actually creating your login account with password. It's as simple as creating your username, which can be either your email address or another unique name that you choose. If there happens to be more than one person in the household that's wanting to join the registry, I need to remind you that your usernames must be unique from each other. So if you do choose to use a shared email account, you both cannot elect to have your email account as your username. The next step before completing this page is to create your password and confirm it, and then click the yellow button, and you will have created your password protected account. Step 2 of registration is the informed consent, and it is given to you as administered in 2 parts, where part 1 is understanding your participation. And granted, the illustration on your screen is much too small to read and isn't intended for you to try to read all that as part of today's overview. But I will tell you that this particular part of the consent process explains to you what it is to participate in research, what your rights as a research participant are, that you can discontinue research at any time, and this process to be able to do that. And it details what registry research actually is, which is participating in online surveys. Part 2 of that consent document, which I just switched your image to, actually has a series of questions that you need to answer to indicate that you understood the information provided and that you understand the concept of participating in research. So you will need to answer those questions and provide your signature in a little signature box at the bottom of that page and submit your consent form. And then that takes you to step 3, which is to provides personal information for the research participant so that the global unique identifier can be assigned. A global unique identifier is a special coded alphanumeric number that is assigned to protect your privacy and confidentiality. So we use your very unique personal information to generate that code. And that way, any subsequent data collection that is done only has that global unique identifier embedded in a document, not your name or any other personally identifiable information. The research participant information provided on this form actually is related back to the original enrollment selection category. So that person or category that you identified with at the very beginning is the research participant. So if you joined as an FTD diagnosed person, the information that goes on this form, the research participant, the personal information belongs to that particular individual. If you joined as a spouse, caregiver, friend, the research participant is the spouse, caregiver, friend, not your FTD diagnosed loved one. Once you've completed your research registration, you will get a thank you email from the registry, and you will be in a period of a 2 to 3 day wait for your global unique identifier to be assigned. Once that GUID has been assigned, you will receive another email that says you can return to your dashboard and that you have a survey available to you to begin filling out.